Hello everybody, welcome to iExamB's Legal Bee. This is Amrita, your law faculty at iExamB. I'm here again with another video from my series for SEBI Grade A Legal Officer Examination. This is an exclusive series which gives you a combination of conceptual clarity along with the types of questions that come in examination. So please watch all these videos from the playlist if you have missed other subjects. In today's video, I will be taking up a topic from Contract Act, a very important subject. Many questions are asked from contract in the examination. But before that, wait and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as if you want all these regularly updates that we provide at Legal Bee and all such videos, then you need to press the bell icon and subscribe. And if you have any queries, you can write to us at hello@iexamb.com. You can call on the number that is visible on the screen if you have any queries, or else you can visit the website www.iexamb.com for all the courses that are available at iExamB. Law of contracts, and today I'm going to discuss some questions. Along with that, the topic that I have chosen for a discussion today is minors contract. Minors contract is a very important area from contract law. Many questions are also asked, and there are some case laws also relating to minors contract, like Mohiri Bibi. So all these case laws, if you do well, then it will be beneficial for you, as you will have conceptual clarity also. Many students have this question कि मैम सेबी में केस लॉस पूछे जाते हैं क्या? तो अगर नहीं भी पूछे जाते, लेकिन अगर ऐसे लैंडमार्क केस लॉस आप पढ़ लेते हो तो उससे आपका कंसेप्ट भी क्लियर रहेगा एंड आपका रिविजन भी होता रहेगा. And iExamB provides you case law summary sheets, section summary sheets and whatnot. So you can check out the demo courses also of iExamB for more details on the same. And you can check out mock tests also at iExamB that are free. So ये सारे beneficial content जो आपके पास easily available है, just you have to visit the website and check it out. Do check it out if you can. You can get help from all these sources that are readily available. Contract क्या होता है? Contract एक relationship है that is created by an agreement between parties. It is for certain obligation that has to be fulfilled, and of course it is having a binding force. It is legal in nature. That's why it is known as a contract. So now we are going to discuss in this video about minors contract. Minor कौन होता है? The person who has not attained majority yet. So can he enter into a contract? That is what is the question. And if he can enter into a contract, is that contract valid in nature or it is void? Other than that, we will be discussing some questions as well from exam point of view. Minors contract. Please keep this in mind that minors contract is void ab initio. Void ab initio means what? Since the very beginning, ab initio ये एक legal term है, and SEBI के लिए आपको legal terms and maxims भी prepare करने होंगे. So if you get any term or maxim, always remember कि उसका meaning भी आपको पूछा जा सकता है, and previous year questions अगर आप check करोगे SEBI के, तो ऐसे questions आए भी हैं. Coming back to minors contract, a minors contract is void ab initio. That means the time when contract has been entered into with a minor person, it is void. From the very beginning, it is void. There is no chance that it is voidable. अब voidable का मतलब क्या होता है? Voidable का मतलब ये होता है कि contract बन चुका है, it is void, लेकिन parties के पास choice होती है that they can convert that contract into a valid contract. But in case of a minors contract, this is not possible, because the minors contract is void ab initio in law and can, by any terms and conditions, it cannot be converted into a valid contract. अगर किसी इंसान ने माइनर के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया है तो उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस उसे फेस करने होंगे, एंड ही वोंट बी गेटिंग एनी कंपनसेशन और एनीथिंग फॉर दैट रीजन. सेक्शन 11 टॉक्स अबाउट कॉम्पिटेंसी टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए क्या क्या कंपिटेंसी होनी चाहिए इन द पार्टीज, दैट इज कवर्ड अंडर सेक्शन 11 ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट. हु आर competent to contract? Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subjected, and who is of sound mind and is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subjected. So these are the necessary conditions which a person has to possess if he wants to enter into a contract. If he is having all these necessary conditions, or he fulfills this criteria, only then he will be said to be competent to enter into a contract. And जो minors contract वाला clause है वो ये पहला ही है, that if the person is competent to contract only if he has attained the age of majority, that means he is 18 or above 18 years. Contract Act 1872, you can find this Law of Contracts section, point number 2, phase 1. Indian Contract Act 1872, first to 6th chapter you have in phase 1, and in phase 2 you are having chapter 8 to 10 along with Indian Partnership Act and Specific Relief Act. Specific Relief Act you are having in phase 1 as well. So that is an advantage for you, that you have the syllabus divided for contracts in phase 1 and phase 2. That means contract 1 and contract 2 आपके लिए divided है. Special contracts आपको phase 2 में है. So the basic concepts like जैसे minor contract मैंने अभी आपको बताया, ये आपको phase 1 के लिए पढ़ना होगा. So 10% weightage is there along with Specific Relief Act, and phase 2 में only this much change is there, that Partnership Act is also added along with that. So many questions are asked from this. It is a scoring area for you. Contracts is an area which is interesting also. It is not very boring or dry area. It is interesting and you can remember that very easily. The principles are very simple. So if you get a question from this area, you can score very easily. Let us discuss some questions. First, the communication of a revocation is complete as against the person who makes it. That means revocation. Revocation's communication is complete when and against the person who makes it, when it comes to his knowledge, when it is put into a course of transmission by the person who makes it, when it is put into a course of transmission to the person to whom it is made, when it is put into a course of transmission to the person to whom it is made so as to be out of power of the person to whom it is made, when it is put into course of transmission to the person to whom it is made so as to be out of power of the person who makes it. So now what they have asked you, this question is very simple but it can become tricky sometimes. So you have to be very careful with such kind of questions which are inherently very easy but seem to be tricky, and we get confused eventually because of the language and the words that are used. So the answer to this question is E. The communication of a revocation is complete as against the person who makes it when it is put into course of transmission to the person to whom it is made. Once it has left that person's course, it has been put in transmission towards the person to whom it is made. It is out of the power who is the maker. Once it has left the power of maker, that means maker is not having any more control over that. That time the communication is said to be complete. So for this you can refer section 4, communication when complete. Two or more persons are said to consent. Now, consent is a very important topic from contracts. When there is no consensus ad idem, when they agree upon the same thing in the same sense, when they do not agree upon the same thing in the same sense, when all of them agree upon the same thing not in the same sense, when consent is not caused or influenced by coercion, undue influence, etc. So what is the meaning of consent basically? ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. And when are two persons said to consent? When they agree upon the same thing in the same sense, only then it is known as consent. Section 13 of Contract Act covers this particular concept. Same thing and that too same sense. What does misrepresentation mean as laid down under the Indian Contract Act? Positive assertion in a manner not warranted by the information of person who is making it of that which is not true though he believes it to be true. Any breach of duty which without an intent to deceive gains an advantage to the person who is committing it, or anyone claiming under him by misleading another to his prejudice or to the prejudice of anyone who is claiming under him, causing however innocently a party to an agreement to make a mistake as to the substance of the thing which is the subject of the agreement. All of the above are correct it is talking about misrepresentation, or only A and C clause? Now this question looks lengthy, but if you are clear with the concept of misrepresentation, you can answer this very easily. The answer is D. All the clauses are talking about misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is an important concept from contracts. Section 18 covers that part, and it talks about all these three clauses as it is. Every agreement of which the object of consideration is unlawful is void, not void, voidable, contingent, not voidable. ये void, voidable, valid, ये concepts इस तरीके के हैं कि हम कितने भी बार पढ़ें हम कई बार confuse हो जाते हैं when the question comes to us. So I would suggest इस तरीके के questions के लिए आप बहुत careful रहिएगा, and as much as you can practice mock tests, it will be beneficial for you. ऐसे questions में आपको फिर habit हो जाएगी how you have to tackle it. Okay, so an agreement of which the object of consideration is unlawful, they are talking about. If there is an unlawful object or in consideration, then what will be the consequence on that particular agreement? Void. सीधा void. Section 23 कहता है what considerations and objects are lawful and what are not. And every agreement of which the object or consideration is unlawful, it will become void. ये सीधा सीधा स्टेटमेंट है. जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस स्टेटमेंट. ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना चाहिए एंड सीधा आंसर कर देना चाहिए ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में. कई बार क्या होता है जब हम ज़्यादा सोचते हैं हम गलती कर देते हैं इन द क्वेश्चंस. द लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर टुडेज डिस्कशन. एवरी अग्रीमेंट इन रिस्ट्रेंट ऑफ मैरिज ऑफ एनी पर्सन is void, illegal, voidable. Other than a minor, it is void. Including a minor, it is void. अब यहाँ पर उन्होंने minor का concept डालकर थोड़ा सा इसको twist कर दिया है question को. It is talking about agreements in restraint of marriage. इसका भी direct provision है हमारे पास. Other than a minor, it is going to be void. Every agreement in restraint of marriage of any person other than a minor is void. Now obviously माइनर की अगर मैरिज हो रही है तो ये तो गलत ही है ना. सो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू मेक एन अग्रीमेंट अदर देन अ माइनर्स मैरिज, दैट इज फॉर रिस्ट्रेंट. ओके, रिस्ट्रेंट ऑफ मैरिज अग्रीमेंट इफ यू आर मेकिंग, देन दैट इज गोइंग टू बी वॉइड. बट इफ इट इज अदर देन अ माइनर, देन ओनली इट विल बी वॉइड. बिकॉज माइनर की मैरिज को रोकना इन इटसेल्फ इज नॉट wrong. It is not going to be void, and law does not stop that. So this was all from contracts. For more queries and such kind of videos, you can write to us in the comment section of this video also, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.